Welcome to Mars Weather. Today we'll check in with the surface rovers and then take a look at the three-sol forecast ahead. Perseverance at its operating mission site, Jezero Crater. On Sol 1927 of the mission, it drove 6.8 meters, bringing its total odometer to 43.66 kilometers. That drive was recorded 5 days ago, so the rover has most likely not moved since then, even though it keeps sending photos. Today's climatological model for Jezero Crater estimates a high of -35 degrees, a low of -82 degrees, winds of 79 kilometers per hour, a pressure of 7.9 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.75 from airborne mineral dust. Perseverance has recently sent new images from the Sherlock camera at Jezero Crater. These raw frames were captured on Sol 1931 of the mission. Curiosity at its operating mission site, Gale Crater. On Sol 4966 of the mission, it drove 35.0 meters, reaching a total odometer of 37.94 kilometers. Today's climatological model for Gale Crater estimates a high of -30 degrees, a low of -71 degrees, winds of 52 kilometers per hour, a pressure of 9.5 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.74 from airborne mineral dust. Curiosity has recently captured new images using its Navcam camera at Gale Crater. These raw frames were recorded on Sol 4967 of the mission. Rong at its last confirmed mission site, Utopia Planitia. Its final published traverse was 1.92 kilometers total, recorded on Sol 347 of the mission. Since then, no movement has been confirmed, and there was no drive to report. Today's climatological model for Utopia Planitia estimates a high of -41 degrees, a low of -86 degrees, winds of 93 kilometers per hour, a pressure of 9.2 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.9 from airborne mineral dust. In sight at its final mission site, Elysium Planitia. This is a stationary lander, so it never drove and has no odometer or traverse distance. Today's climatological model for Elysium Planitia estimates a high of -30 degrees, a low of -73 degrees, winds of 40 kilometers per hour, a pressure of 7.7 millibars, and a dust optical depth of 0.82 from airborne mineral dust. Sol 606 brings daytime highs of -33 degrees. Hellas Planitia location shows a dust_to_peak of 1.13, with a dusty haze dominating the sky. Viking 1 location experiences peak gusts of 109 kilometers per hour. Overnight lows drop to -79 degrees. Looking ahead, daytime highs trend slightly colder through Sol 608, while nighttime lows remain consistently frigid. Dust levels remain steady with minor fluctuations, and wind activity shows a gradual decrease. The first Phobos crossing of Mars begins and lasts 54 minutes. In Los Angeles, the crossing runs from 7:40 in the morning to 8:34 in the morning while Mars stands above the horizon there. In New York, the crossing runs from 10:40 in the morning to 11:34 in the morning while Mars stands above the horizon there. In London, the crossing runs from 3:40 in the afternoon to 4:34 in the afternoon while Mars stands above the horizon there. Phobos crosses the planet's disk during this event. The first Deimos crossing of Mars's apparent disk begins and lasts 84 minutes. In Los Angeles, the crossing runs from 10:20 in the morning to 11:44 in the morning while Mars stands above the horizon there. In New York, the crossing runs from 1:20 in the afternoon to 2:44 in the afternoon while Mars stands above the horizon there. In London, Mars is below the horizon at that time. The next Phobos crossing of Mars's apparent disk begins and lasts 54 minutes. In Los Angeles, The crossing runs from 3:20 in the afternoon to 4:14 in the afternoon while Mars stands above the horizon there. In New York and London, Mars is below the horizon at that time. The third Phobos crossing of Mars's apparent disk begins and lasts 54 minutes. In New York, the crossing runs from 1:59 in the morning to 2:53 in the morning while Mars stands above the horizon there. In London, the crossing runs from 6:59 in the morning to 7:53 in the morning while Mars stands above the horizon there. In Los Angeles, Mars is below the horizon at that time. Mars is currently in the constellation Taurus. For observers in New York, Mars rises at 2:22 in the morning and sets at 5:23 in the afternoon. That's your daily Mars weather update. Stay tuned for more from the Red Planet.